If I get everyone's attention, we have a tradition here at Charlie Mike's where we honor our fallen. Today's a special day, 9/11, the day that kind of launched us into a 20-year war and the loss of a lot of American lives that day and since that day. September 11th plunged us into kind of a period of darkness for a while and patriotism, and kind of a good day. But on September 11th, that morning, I'm sure everyone can remember where they were, what they were doing when they heard the news. Myself personally, I was at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, going through a demining course when a British and an Australian sergeant major brought in a TV and said, "Hey mates, think you might want to look at this." And just then, the second tower was hit. So, and we all knew that the world had changed, and it's changed a lot since then. So today we do a reading of the 9/11 events, just to honor those that fell. So on September 11th at 8:45 a.m. on a clear morning in New York, American Airlines Boeing 767 crashed into the North Tower at the World Trade Center. 18 minutes later, at 9:03, a second Boeing 767, United Airlines Flight 175, sliced into the South Tower, and both those came down. At 9:45, American Airlines Flight 77, circling over Washington, D.C., crashed into the west side of the Pentagon. 125 military personnel and civilians were killed at the Pentagon, along with 64 people who were aboard the airliner. At 10:03, the north building of the Twin Towers collapsed. Only 6 people in the World Trade Center towers at the time of the collapse survived. Almost 6,000 others were treated for injuries. United Flight 93 was hijacked 40 minutes after leaving Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey. Because the plane's delay in taking off, passengers on board learned of the events of New York and Washington via cell phone calls from the ground. Knowing that the aircraft was not returned to the airport, the hijackers claimed a group of passengers and flight attendants planned intervention. The American spirit here. One of the passengers, Thomas Burnett Jr., told his wife over the phone, "I know we're all going to die. There are just 3 of us who are going to do something about it. I love you, hon." Another passenger, Todd Beamer, was heard saying, "Are you ready, guys? Let's roll." They brought that plane down in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania at 10:10 a.m. Unfortunately, all 44 people aboard were killed, as well as crew. Its intended target wasn't known, but people figure it may have been the White House, U.S. Capitol, or Camp David. A total of 2,996 people were killed during the 9/11 attacks. This includes 2,195 civilians, 343 firefighters trying to rescue and save people, 23 New York City police officers, 37 Port Authority police officers, and 8 EMT paramedics at the World Trade Center. 265 passengers and crew of the 4 airliners, 125 military personnel and civilians at the Pentagon, and citizens from 78 foreign countries died in New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania. Kind of an ominous day. I'm sure all of us that were alive at that time won't forget, and that's why we do this, so we won't forget. So ladies and gentlemen, if you would, raise your glasses to all those who sacrificed their life on that day. May they rest in peace.
May they rest in peace.
If you would please, we're going to play the national anthem. If you would please stand and face the flag. Kind of a different version though.
Sorry, I gotta do this.
By the dawn's
On behalf of Tracy Guthrie and the staff here at Charlie Mike's, thank you all for taking time out of your day to help us remember 9/11. Thank you all.